Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast. This is Mike Tup, and today we have an old friend of mine on the podcast, Wen Chun over here. So Wen Chun, just give a brief intro of yourself, what you're doing now, those kind of things.
So, greetings and salutations, alright. My name is Wen Chun, right, okay, so you know, I'm studying in Taylor's, right. I'm also an e-commerce store owner, right, so that is basically my background, my simple background,
Okay.
yeah.
So, okay, before this, when I knew Wen Chun, we were back in high school, and he was a totally different person, okay, back then. So he was really the kind of like naughty and quite lana, we say.
Definitely.
So what has been the turning point from high school and what you're doing right now? When was the stage when you went like, I need to do something different?
So basically, right, one thing that really changed me was basketball, on how you work hard on things, right. So I wasn't a straight A student, I wasn't a kind of student that did well in academics. So I was forced in a situation where I had to be somewhat of a, how you say, like, need to be
Work
outside
hard.
thinking. Yeah, I need to think outside the box and need to work hard on different things. So how basketball changed me was that you were in a school team, I wasn't. So I only started basketball when I was 14, where people started when they were 13 or younger. So I had to work harder till the point where we were 17, I got into the second team. And I was the main five of the second team. Even though I never got to the first team, it's alright. I knew that I had, I worked hard enough to work until the point where I wanted to go to, even though it wasn't my goal. But now I look back at it, it was...
It's the journey.
It's the journey, yes,
Yeah,
correct.
Definitely. So that's one thing, but how do you transform from being, let's say, quite naughty in a sense to now how you're so striving to do this, do that, and how do you get into the business aspect of things, entrepreneurship?
Right.
Because if you guys didn't know, Wen Chun, he gave me my first book, Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. So yeah, he was the first one who got into all these things before I even stepped into entrepreneurship, this kind of thing. So which was the turning point for you?
Okay, so when I was 17, I finished SPM.
Mhm.
I didn't have any things that I really wanted to do. Only thing I knew that I wanted to do was business, but I don't know what kind of business. So if I don't know what I want to do, I need to start from somewhere, right? I need to explore all the things that I can do, like how to start business, how to start investing, how to do this, how to make videos, how to do that.
Mhm.
So I eventually ventured into the business world more. So yeah, that's actually how I
You started,
I started, yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Sorry about that. So your e-commerce store is actually called Vibelightsmy, am I right?
Yep, correct.
So how did you stumble upon your e-commerce? How do you get into it, and how was your experience with it?
Right, so this is going to be a very long story. Actually long, I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, so basically, in TikTok, there is these LED lights that people are using. So for me, I never thought of buying them until my sister bought them. So when my sister got them and she put it on around her room, I was like, oh, cool.
Wow.
I would want that also.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, sure, why not? I'll just go get a set and buy it for myself. So on that day, which I got the lights, I was like, whoa, this is so cool. It took me like 10 minutes to set it on my room. Then I was like, okay, this is cool. Then I posted it on my Instagram. Then a few hours later, 30 DMs came in.
Oh,
30
okay,
DMs.
okay.
I'm not joking, 30 DM. So in my mind, I was like, whoa, a lot of people want this. And this product is not hard to get on my site. So I'm like, why not I try to sell this?
So this is where you found a market to market your...
Yes.
Okay.
So another sense is where this product is not easily founded in Malaysia. So if you want to find this, it needs to be advertised to you, marketed to you by
Yes.
ads that you
Okay.
see, right? So on that day itself, when I got the lights, when I got the DMs, I didn't reply any of them. I started an Instagram shop. So
Okay.
how I did was I just opened an Instagram page, set up an email, then I just made the designs, find the product, find the supplier. On that day itself, I didn't sleep for the whole night. Yeah.
So it took you 2 days to set up the whole thing?
Or
Around a week?
actually, it was around 8 hours. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
from 10 to 6 a.m. Yeah. And my first sale was in 7 a.m. 1 hour after
Okay,
launch.
okay.
Yeah.
So you watch YouTube videos kind of thing to learn how to, or you just... How do you learn how to set up the store?
Right. So this is a very long process for me because I've done 4 internships. To date, I've done 4 internships. First one was in education industry. Second one was in the sales industry. The third one was in the e-commerce industry. The fourth one was in the real estate.
Okay.
So most of these industries I've been to, I was told to do social media on that part. So I had knowledge on this part, and a user myself, as a normal Instagram user, I know how to go around things, and I've seen people selling stuff on Instagram.
Okay.
So what I learned something is that if you don't know how to do, it's okay, just copy from the best. Yeah, that's what almost every industry does. Like comparing to the fashion industry. Yeah.
Alright, so it's more of you had so much experience beforehand. That's why you've been able to do it in 8 hours. It's not that I want to do it 8 hours. I done. If let's say you have no experience at all, you won't be able to do it in 8 hours. Am I right?
I would say that you can do it, but there will be a lot of trial and error. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. So how's the sales been going actually? If you don't mind.
Sales.
Okay. We don't discuss
the numbers. Okay, just how good it is.
Just how good it is.
So during the first month at MCO, it is definitely gonna be good. It's because first things first, this is a product which is very hard to find. It has no market value.
Okay.
As in, it's like Malaysian people don't sell it, so you don't know how much is it like. So this is why I decided to sell it also. And the other thing was that, what was the question again? Yeah.
Like we're not talking about numbers, but how well is it doing?
How well?
Yeah.
Okay. So since this item is a home improvement item, so people during MCO, all of them were at home, and my market is around high school students, university students, and
think of how
young
to
adults.
make your room nicer.
Yes, people want to make their room nicer, like from all the YouTube videos you've seen. So how is it going? So the first month was the best month actually. Then it started, not to say go downhill, but the numbers started became lesser and lesser. It's not really surprising because I went into the market at the right time, and what goes up must come down. This is like basic business, you know. Yeah.
There's a cycle to it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, okay, would you say you made a profit?
That is definitely yes. Yeah.
Alright. Great. So what are the problems? Okay, you made a profit. That's great, definitely. But you definitely encountered problems doing it. So what were the main problems when you're setting up your e-commerce store?
Right. So the first thing was the payment way. Okay. So in Malaysia, people tend to use bank accounts, right, instead of buying from websites. If you don't compare to Shopee and Lazada. So in my case, I had to use my own personal account, which I really didn't really like. So I didn't really want people to know that I own a business. I wanted to have a business account. I did make a business account 3 months or 2 months after I launched the business, which was recently as well. Yeah. So what other problems did I have? Oh, okay. So the other problem is this item is a item which is can be easily broken because it's something, it's an OEM product, original something manufacturer. So it's from China. Basically everything is from China. So that's why my margins need to be high, right? So when people buy from me, if they have any problems, I can return to them the issue I have. Maybe the adapter can't work, maybe the lights, there's like some issues, little issues that I can exchange for them. Yeah.
So you're using the extra margin to solve your customer problems.
Yes.
Right. So in terms of marketing and sales, I think that's the hardest part of usually getting your product out there. So in terms of marketing and sales, is there any major problems you faced? I mean, I know you as a person who's really good in marketing, but there's always going to be some hiccup somewhere.
So one thing about this business is that it's not as scalable, right? So end of the day, I had to reply to PMs one by one.
Okay.
So up to date, I think I replied like 2,000 messages, 3,000 messages, and only like few hundred of them bought. Not few hundred, like a small amount of them. Yes. Yeah. So it's like that's the only one of the few issues because it's not scalable. If I want to do this long term, it's not really gonna work out. I need to spend my time on this thing replying. Yeah. And the other thing is also pricing. Because not a lot of people can buy a product which is on a very high price, so I had to lower down the price. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking about this, you need to find usually with this kind of scalable things, you need networks out there, right? You need to know people, the right people to scale your product. How's your approach on networking? Have you looked into partnerships kind of thing?
For this business, no. I want to do everything by myself. So, because it's easy to manage, and I don't really think I need someone else to manage unless I venture into something new and I might hire someone to do this, or I myself of this business.
Okay.
So,
so this is more of a personal project, kind of a.
In a sense, in Chinese, this is to 存子弹, to save up your bullets for your next venture.
Okay.
So this business is in a way for profitability. It's not for long term, like a vision, a mission. So that's
not the big picture. It's more of a stepping stone on the way. Okay. Speaking of networking, what is your thoughts on networking? Because the last time we met, you had some interesting perspective about how we should network and how networking is supposed to be in this kind of day.
Wow, okay. So networking, wow.
Because we always see networking as meeting people, just going and whack as many people as possible, get enough leverage, know the right people. But not everyone's going to be able to go out and, let's say, meet people, because if you're an introvert, what are you going to do? Right? You're going to be really uncomfortable.
What I can say is that if you really want to do something, you will go do it. So if you really want to start this business, you need some connections, you will do it. So for networking, I think it's like, how to say, if you really want it, you want it. That's what I can say. Because end of the day, if you're an introvert or an extrovert, if you really want something, you'll go get it. So for the networking part, you just talk to everyone. No judgment. Everyone has their own story. Nobody knows anyone like 100%. You only know the person at max is like 50%. Yeah, their thoughts you can never listen to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say the best tips for people to go out and network when they meet people? How do you approach? I mean, you went and meet a lot of new people.
Yep.
How do you approach new people in a sense?
Just talk to them. Just ask about what they're doing. Even though it's a taboo subject, don't ask about their salary. Just ask, what are you doing, or what are you currently doing, or what did you do before. Then you just roughly know what they are like. So maybe this person is a food scientist. So you want to create a food product. So they did food science. So they might help you in a way, in some sense. Yeah.
So you need to know who is doing what is out there, kind of thing, right?
It's not about taking advantage of others, but it's just about making friends at first. And in the future, if you need any help, people are more willing to help. Like people are
build the relationships first.
Yes,
right.
correct.
Another thing that is actually I saw on your social media page is you said let's stop comparing with other people. And because with social media, we're always looking at the people's success story, how they're doing better than us, how they're earning more money than us, having better lives. With networking, you tend to meet people, these kind of people who are doing better than you. So
Definitely.
how do you yourself not be influenced by, not compare to these people when you're networking or even on social media?
Okay, first things first, everybody has their own time. So some people get married at 40, some people get married at 20, some people succeed in 50, some people succeed when they're 15. So it comes to like, in a way it's luck also, but in a way it's how hard you work. But it's alright, everybody has their own time. And the other thing I believe in is in slow cents, not quick ringgits. So everything is built up slowly, one by one. It's not one day, your business just blows up. I mean, that's a one-time thing. Like all the hit songs you listen to, it's just a one-time thing. But if you want to like succeed, it's like step by step. There's no rush. So that's why you see most people in their 40s are the people that are actually the ones that are like above, up there. So people in their 20s, they can do it as well. But are they working harder than others? Even though they are working as hard as the others, it might not equal to success. It depends on the industry and what you're doing. For example, like now, CMCO, RMCO, So like maybe you had a very good travel industry like plan or something. You started a business, but now because of this, these are all the things that you cannot predict. True. So you need to, you need to prepare. But sometimes life is just life. Things just happen.
Things just happen.
Yeah.
Like this year, COVID, most plans are put on hold. We don't get to do anything, right? So okay. Speaking of not comparing, how would you advise people in their 20s like us to just change your mindset of not comparing with other people? As you say, slow sense.
Slow sense over quick ringgits.
Slow sense over quick ringgit, yeah. So how would you advise people to get into that mentality? Okay. Because, I don't know, it took me quite some time to actually... Sorry, we're back. There was some technical difficulties. We're back. So yeah, the question just now was how do you advise someone in, let's say, just coming out of high school to have that slow sense and I don't know,
over quick ringgits mentality.
Yeah, slow sense over quick ringgit. I need to, should make that a quote on a shirt,
Yeah, I should make a shirt out there, right?
Yeah, how do you get that mentality?
Okay, first things first, I watch videos, a lot of videos, any kind of videos. Like Gary Vee is like my main mentor, not say mentor, but someone I look up to.
Yeah.
And second is in a way Kobe. Okay. Yeah, surprisingly.
Rest
cause the mentality is the Mamba mentality,
Kaizen, every day you improve a bit.
Yes, every day improve a bit. You work hard, you never give up. Just if you don't make a shot, you don't know what's the results. So this is my mindset. Yeah. So when I was 17, so I worked in a retail store, and I just want to have experience. I didn't want the money. I wanted the experience, cause experiences are more important than money. In the future, like if your job is like you have a job, but you got fired. but you have experience on this, people will still want to hire you. So experiences, you just experience every single
Just
thing.
trial and error, experience more.
Yeah.
The more you know, the more valuable you are in a
Definitely,
sense. Right?
definitely.
Okay. So yeah, we were talking about that. As you all know, I think his sister is someone famous one way. So I read the book that he lent me called Unfair Advantage. Does your sister, I mean, a lot of people have been asking this question, does your sister give you this unfair advantage, and how is it like being a brother to someone who is famous? And yet again, your sister is younger than you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, does that affect you in any way? Or?
Okay, first things first, it gets annoying at times when I meet people and they say, oh my god, you're Wen Wei's brother. I want to be known as Wen Chun, not Wen Wei's brother. Some people, like, even though she's very famous, but it comes to a point, not everyone knows her. Yeah. So being a brother to an KOL, not influencer, I would like to call it KOL, key opinion leader. So it's not say stressful or anything. I mean, she's doing good. So as a brother, I would want to be on the same. I'm proud of her. I would want to be on the same level as her as well. Because at the end of the day, sometimes people have egos, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, that's human beings. People want to be better all the time. Yeah. So for my sister, how I used my sister in a way was that in business, I use influencer marketing. So my sister is considered as an influencer. So I asked her to help me out. Since she's my sister, I didn't pay her. So I started off there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. So, but because what I've been seeing, I've been looking at people's Instagram because I've been checking out how it's a trends kind of things. So your account kind of blew up at the start of this year.
Yep.
From I think 1,000, 2,000 to suddenly 4,000, 5. What do you think has been the key factor behind that?
I mean, I appeared in my sister's stories and videos and her posts, so it's not surprising that I would gain a following. I mean, it's not a very big following, but it's still a number of following that is like more than the average. Yeah.
So no matter how there's a spillover effect from your sister in a sense. Okay. So that's how the unfair advantage you get. Even though that's why he taught me also to look at the unfair advantage because everyone, regardless whatever circumstance you're in, there's something that you have that is more than other people. Okay, yeah. Actually, that day I saw on I think yours or your sister's, you mentioned that you guys are going to start a podcast too. Right? Is that one of the things that's coming up within this few months?
We cannot completely say yes, but it's in the making. We are not sure if we want to launch this because we are both busy in our own things, and this is like a side project for us to do for fun. Yeah, we want to talk about like life, experiences, everything else.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
Are there any other projects that you?
Actually, I'm looking forward to starting a cereal company. Yeah, surprisingly.
Oh, okay. So, just tell our guests what's a cereal company.
Yeah, so all these snacks you see in the market, Cocoa Crunch, Kellogg's and everything.
Oh, you mean by cereal, legit?
Yeah, cereal.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a gap in the market. So basically, people like avocados. It's a trend now.
Yeah.
And there's no avocado cereal in the market. So what happened that day was I was scrolling through Facebook. I saw a post about an avocado cereal, but it was just like a meme.
Okay.
It wasn't a real thing.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I was like thinking, oh, I should do this. And on few days ago, I met a friend's sister, which just finished a food science degree, which actually happened. So I was like talking to her, we can do something, I am in need of a product specialist, and then she is in need of like a career. So why not we just start something out,
Right.
Just do this, like try something out. There's no harm in failing.
Yeah, that's true. Food science, okay, cereal, that's interesting.
Yes, that's very interesting, yeah.
Alright, okay, so actually what are you doing now? As of today, because you've been doing some internships, are you still studying?
Yes, definitely, I'm still studying. Yeah, I'm graduating next year, July.
Oh, okay, what course are you doing actually?
Business, and my major is marketing.
Oh, marketing major. Alright. So, okay, some final questions before we end. He recommended my first book to me, The Cash Flow Quadrant, by Robert Kiyosaki. So are there any other books would you recommend to people? What's the best book that you recommend to other people?
Definitely the best book for anyone who is starting out in anything in life is definitely Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That is definitely the first book that you should ever read. It's in a way self-development book, it's a finance book, and it's an all-around book in a way. For me, in my opinion, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I will just put it somewhere, link somewhere. Cash Flow Quadrant. Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Cash Flow Quadrant is the second book. Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, the original OG book. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. So before we end, any advice would you like to give people just starting out or this kind of things? I mean people in the high school or like our age, 20 plus.
What I would say is just do. Don't think about anything else. Just do the thing first. If you don't start, you never know.
I really agree with this. Like how I started the podcast also.
Yeah.
Just do. You get somewhere.
You get somewhere somehow.
Yeah.
Right. You always learn something. That's the thing.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Okay. Actually, on our last podcast, we had this question: is college really that important this kind of time?
So basically, if you are studying the STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, maths, you need to complete the degree no matter what, because you are a profession. Unless you are a student like me, a business student, which is studying marketing, international business, management, or your mass comm student, which is studying advertising, journalism. So in a way, this kind of industries, they change overnight. They don't change in the long term, you know. Like they change long term as well, but as in it changes very fast.
Yeah.
So what you learn in uni might not apply. Which what I'm doing right now, what I'm learning in uni, it doesn't really, match with each other. But I still learn things that I need to. I was at a point where I wanted to drop out, like a few months ago.
Yeah, actually same also.
Yeah.
I'm doing business side and sometimes I'm doing my report, I'm just like, this shit,
journals,
man.
oh my god, referencing.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, do you actually really gonna use these journal articles, kind of read the kind of...
I mean, actually, yes, somehow I would.
Somehow yes. That's why I came to the conclusion. So hence I'm still in uni, I'm gonna finish. You have 1 more year left also, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
I have 1 year left too, yeah. Alright, so I guess that's about it for it. Is there anything you want to add on? This is a very quick podcast. Thanks to you. You have his points straight on. That's what I like about him. He doesn't beat around the bush. Straight on. So any points you want to add on?
Any points I would like to add on?
Anything you want to say to our audience over here?
Just be woke. Just know things. Trust your gut. Always trust your gut. I mean, it's your sixth sense, so you always believe in it. Even though sometimes, like, all the facts and figures, they don't add up. But if you believe in something, just do it. Just believe in what you believe in. Yeah, that's what I would say to all the audience, everyone else. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, wait. One more thing. That, as of last year, before COVID, you actually went traveling.
Yes.
I wanted to touch on this, I forgot. Okay, yes, we're gonna continue traveling. So how has that been for you? You traveled across Europe, right? Because you're studying in UK, you traveled across Europe. How was the experience been for you?
So basically, I was on a semester exchange. I had a lot of time on my hands. My results were just a pass or fail. It wasn't an ABCD. So it's okay if I don't get a good result. And I traveled to 7 countries in 24 days, if you add it up.
Okay.
Yeah. And for the amount that I spent, it was less than 10k actually. Because since I was there already, so the flight tickets are very cheap in a way.
Okay.
Like the cheapest ticket I got from UK in Liverpool to Denmark, a round trip, was I think 100 ringgit. So that was very, very cheap. And for me to go to another country, and somewhat Denmark is a country which is like so developed, why not just go there, Right. So traveling was a very fun experience. You just meet people along the way. So I went to Portugal, I just talked to a bunch of foreigners, not foreigners, like people, backpackers. Yeah, so I just talked to them and I just went on a trip with them. I just walked and we just talked and we just had lunch and dinner, we just talked the whole journey.
Cool. Like this doesn't happen in Malaysia. Right. I mean, you don't go up to a stranger and say, let's go for lunch. People go like, you want to kidnap me or some shit.
I mean,
it's the culture.
It's the culture. I mean, I'm an extroverted person also as well, so it's like, I wouldn't mind doing this.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 7 countries I've been to, it's quite life changing. You see things in a different perspective. There's more than in Malaysia, Yeah. The people you meet also, it's very, it's very different the way they talk and speak, the things you eat, the things you see, how they perceive, like give information out and everything. Yeah.
Alright. One last thing, you're doing content on your Instagram. Okay, so you're putting out more and more content, but with your content, it doesn't seem curated at all. How do you approach your content? Because it seems like you're just putting everything out there, and you're getting the engagement you want, right? Am I right?
So on my personal account,
yes.
So I want to let people know that I am Wen Chun. I don't want to let people know that I run this business, because I want to let people know me for me first.
Okay.
Right? So if people know me for me, it's easier for them to communicate with me. So if I'm known as Wen Wei's brother, or I'm known as that business owner, so people will talk to me in a way that is like different, I want to be a friend first instead of like someone else.
Okay.
A friend first, yeah.
Instead of, let's say you want to 要做生意 only, you want to make business with you, only you come.
Yes.
Kind of
I would like a relationship first. Yeah.
So would you say that you are a content creator in a sense?
No.
No, right? So,
It's just a personal account for me to have my life there, you know. People
okay,
can
so
check
it's
it
a
out.
personal account.
Yes, definitely.
Alright. Okay, so that's all for our podcast today. If there's any questions you want, you can always drop in the comment down below, and we will ask him. We do a separate Q&A probably. We do a
Yep.
separate section if there's
Yeah,
any
why
other
not?
questions.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, I see you guys in the next podcast. Thank you, Wen Chun, for coming on the
Right.
podcast.
No worries.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
See you guys